Take two.
So, okay, for Thursday, October 22nd, calling the Conshohocken Sewer Authority Board meeting to order.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, we're going to stand up and do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Oh.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Yep, so we got Christine Bertina,
Here.
Jack Ambler,
Here.
Aparna Chuber,
Here.
George Bass,
Thanks, Aparna.
and Tina Sokolowski.
Okay. And do we need an executive session tonight?
Yes.
We'll do an executive session at the end of the meeting.
Just do it at the end, because yes, we'll do it at the end.
Okay.
But we should note
I should note that
If
there's
there's
no
no-
public. Okay, the next thing is public comment, since there's no one here. Look at me grabbing the gavel. We're skipping that part. Invited guests, we have no invited guests tonight. And then the first thing is the approval of the minutes of the September 24th, 2024 meeting. Does anybody have any questions about the minutes?
We're good.
Okay, do we have a motion to accept the minutes of the September 24th meeting?
I'll make a motion.
Do we have a second? Can I second?
you can second.
Oh, I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aparna?
Aparna,
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay. Any opposed? Okay,
October 14th minutes.
right. The next is to approve the minutes of the October 14th meeting. Any questions on that? Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Do I have to ask if any is opposed, if there's nobody else to oppose?
If all
You
three
can just
say.
say any opposed.
Okay, any opposed? No. Okay, the next thing is the financial report. Any questions? And the financial report was the Blue Cross rebate, right?
Yes, so do you want to, you can either do the bills to be paid first and then we can do the IBX rebate, or however you want to do it.
Okay. Do I have to read out anything? Just say,
It's gonna,
Whichever you want to do. You want to do the IBX rebate?
do the bills first?
so you're gonna
Okay.
make a motion to pay the bills in the amount of $434,279.18.
Where's that amount? Okay. Okay, do I have a motion to pay the bills in the amount of $434,279.18?
I'll make the motion.
Barna, would you like to second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'm sorry, that's by roll call. So
Oh.
Shannon will take the.
Okay, let's do a roll call on
Yes.
that?
Yep. Nope, you're fine. So then Christine Bertino,
Yes.
Jack Ambler,
Here.
Aparna Chibber.
Yes. And Mr. Ambler, I think you said here, but you meant aye, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I wait first. Okay. Do I need to make a motion on that then?
On what?
But because we did the roll call?
For the bills?
Yeah, you already did.
We're done.
Okay,
Yeah, you
that's
did it.
done.
You're good.
So
Next is the
now
IBX.
the rebate.
Yes. So the IBX rebate, this is a rebate for last year. We get them every year, just about. Typically, we just add them back to their payroll instead of cutting them AP checks. But we currently have 2 employees that are not on the payroll. So is it possible to pay everybody else through the payroll and then cut those 2 a check? Or should I wait on paying the 2 of them?
we just do this as a straight rebate, it's not taxed, right?
No, right.
Yeah, so you just need a W-9, then you should be able to just cut them a check.
Okay, so if I cut them a check, I got to do a W-9 for that? Or, I
I
mean,
would defer to the.
or would it be a
email.
1099? Would they be getting a
It'd be
1099?
1099.
Well, it's not over $600. It's $44.89.
We can figure out the paperwork, but you can cut them a check.
Okay.
Right.
So do I make a motion?
So the rebate, the total rebate, just so you know, the total rebate was $7,481.37. The amount going back to the employees is $448.88 total.
So you're gonna make, it'll be a motion to.
Just
approve
quickly,
the
what is the, remind me what this is?
So it's a rebate from our health insurance because we didn't use all of the.
Funds for like.
All the
employees?
fun, yes, so
Essentially
they,
prepay for a certain amount and it wasn't all you.
yeah.
Okay, okay. And they all get it back.
And it is an annual thing
It seemed to be happening every year.
that we always get.
We've been getting a little bit back each year.
And so we evenly divide it amongst the employees that participate in the plan.
Yes.
Great.
Is that?
Yeah, their 6.5% that they pay out of that's what we give them for the rebate.
Just curious. Is that in their contract?
No.
No, because it's not guaranteed. So it's based on the usage of the plan from the prior year. And so if
So
there's
there's
a
no
rebate.
commitment to the sewer authority to give them back the rebate?
Well, it's because they're contributing to their health insurance, the authority has always given
I'm in
back.
agreement to
Yeah.
give it to them, but I'm
They haven't asked
just
for it.
curious that it never made it to the contract. Okay.
So it's just gonna be a motion to approve the IBX rebate as presented.
Okay, so can I have a motion to approve the IBX rebate as presented?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 I feel so bad. Okay, and can I have a motion to accept the finance report?
I'll make a motion.
Oh my God, Chuck, you're gonna be in the minutes a lot. Can I have a second? Aye. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Oh, I meant I'll second.
Okay. I figured that when you're. It's fine.
Okay, solicitors report.
Very straightforward tonight. We don't have any action items this evening. I do have a couple of items to review in executive session following this meeting, but I'm happy to take any questions on my report.
And it seems like there's less liens for 2024 than there were in 2023.
I think it's usually pretty consistent. There might be some fluctuation, but it's usually pretty consistent.
Yeah, it's still pretty
Oh, I see.
close.
Okay. So can I have a motion to accept the solicitor's report?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we're off to the engineer's report.
Pretty quick tonight. First thing on the update on the electrical design, the incoming services as well as the overhead pump station. The design is progressing. We're hoping to have something at the end of November, beginning of December. Hoping to have something end of November, beginning of December. Unfortunately, my lead engineer is out on maternity leave right now, so Kirsten is out, but she has 3 other engineers that are working on it. So I did see some progress prints last week, and I'm planning on setting up a meeting the end of the first week of November, just to kind of go over, make sure we're on track, we're on budget, if there's anything that's causing her concerns as far as costs and compliance with the grant. Second item is 720 Spring Mill. I'm happy to announce the contractor has reinstalled that. No complaints, construction completed today, and testing, and no resident complaints that I'm aware of for the reconnection of that. And then the last item is the CFA H2O grant. We're closing that out. There is some back and forth with them, just getting them the required documents to close it out. I think we're on track with that. I know there's one check that we need to mail out so that we can get a canceled check back. We were holding it until they completed some punch list items. We're holding one of the 2 checks. We're gonna, do the other check. Other than that, and CFA has been great work for us on that. So that completes my report, unless the board has any questions.
Yeah, any questions?
Anything of interest on the electrical design stuff? I mean, you said
No,
it's kind of slow, but
Yeah, I mean, they're really sketching everything out, and I would say it's a skeleton right now of all the improvements, and they're adding the meat to the bones right now. So they've kind of laid out the things, but no. And the biggest thing is standardizing and working with everyone on standardizing everything and bringing it up and deciding what can remain and what they're going to replace. The biggest surprise, the biggest thing that we're adding is replacement of all the underground wiring, because it's been underwater for probably 10 years. So that was one thing that we made a decision to do. That was probably the biggest thing it was an add to their scope, was not waiting until it fails and replacing all the underground wiring in the duct banks.
do they kind of like, how often do they like issue something, or like your review type of thing along the way, or how does that, or do you just kind of get updates from them periodically, or?
We will go into 30, 70, and 90% complete drawings. So I saw ones that were probably beyond 30%, but they really aren't there. So I said, listen, why don't we meet the first week of November? Let's go over if we need another site meeting, let's do that. You know, my goal is to get this done shortly after the end of the year so that we can bid it in the spring, because I want to do a lot of the construction during the summer when our flows are low.
Okay.
You know, it's just easier to take things offline, you know, when we have that. The biggest challenge is going to be blocking off the road for the generators. So, and we haven't started that coordination yet with the borough, but we will. There'll be half that road will be closed with tractor trailer sized generators. I think there's 3 of them actually.
That's like, for like just a couple days, or?
No, a couple months.
Oh, really? Okay, okay.
Yeah, no, it's not, no, we're gonna be down for a while. Like, our outages will be down to days, but I can't mobilize and unmobilize. There's probably gonna be 4 outages, and it's cheaper to rent it by the month.
Okay.
As we go down through. So we replace kind of the right side, the left side, then the VFDs. So it's really 3 major outages, you know, down that way. So, I mean, you know, but it's not, maybe it's not months, but it's not a couple days.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not a short outage.
I was wondering if it was the transportation in, but no, it's the actual
And the
work's done.
problem with it is that I never know that it's gonna go clean. You know what I mean? Like, it should be down for this kind of time, but if we run into something, I can't have them leaving. I need to have them there the entire time. And there's always a reliability thing of when you're doing it, because we solely rely on electric. Like, it doesn't work unless we pump it up in the air.
Yeah.
You know, so, but, and I'll have them come in and do a 5-10 minute presentation to you, summary, probably every other month as they progress through the design.
Cool.
Along with an overall schedule and kind of milestones. So they're just kind of getting into, right now, their concentration has been mostly on the sequence of construction, of how they want to take it down, not as much of what are they taking down, but when we take this down, how are we doing it? That's really the emphasis right now, and that's the key when you're working on an existing plant with 2 incoming services. Is how do you take it down, how do you manage it, and what time, and then how do you replace things, you know, in order.
Thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions? Okay, can I have a motion to accept the engineer's report?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, operations manager's report.
We had a situation at the plant today where we had a utility water pipe break, nowhere near like the last one. This was in the driveway. It was just literally coming up through the cracks. So our team got on it quickly. We got a contractor from Eastern out there right away, and then the Borough came over and helped us with their backhoe. They were there within 20 minutes, started opening up the ground for us. So we found the leak, found the source of it. So the contractor on his way home today stopped and picked up all the parts he's going to need. They'll be out there at 6:30 tomorrow morning, get us all put back together. So we just had to, luckily we only had to turn off the water in one section of the plant, so the whole plant's not down. So that's just something I want to report. So you'll see some invoices coming for that. So that was kind of like an emergency job. So
Is Eastern like on contract with us then, or?
No, this was just kind of,
They were able to come out that fast?
Yes.
Yeah, that's great.
this is the company that did the pump installs for the flooding, the pipe break that we had 2 Marches ago.
Okay.
So we have a good relationship with them. They're really responsive. I was approached by HRG to host, they do this thing called Poo and Brew. It's where they tour a plant and they go out and have drinks at a local brewery afterwards. So they're going to be coming in tomorrow. I think I have 38 individuals coming tomorrow to tour the plant. So we're excited about that. It's going to be a good dry run for possibly hosting the Epicoa one in May, which will be much larger. And that person from Epicoa is going to meet me on October 30th. She's going to come out to the plant and she's going to lay everything out for us, what our responsibilities are, what we need to do, and then we can really put a plan together and be ready for it. So,
Love it. I was gonna go, but unfortunately I can't make it. We got the notifications and everything.
Oh, okay.
Too, so I guess it's getting circulated out there nicely.
yeah, I haven't been to one, but it sounds fun. So, and we love showing the place off. So
Yeah, yeah.
they'll get to see a new hole in the driveway tomorrow. But hey, that's reality in our business. So that concludes my report.
Did we update the website?
Not completely.
Okay.
We're still working on wording and such, and I want to, like your suggestion, I wanted to update that article, like you said, and just,
It was very techy. For somebody who's not techie at all in this industry, I was like, it was kind of over my head. So I think that it could be simplified, and AI does a wonderful job. So if you need any help with that,
okay, great, thank you.
I'm happy to help.
No, absolutely, and thanks for the feedback, because I
You
don't get it when
know
it goes out there. People don't respond to the website, like, it's good to hear this, so.
Yeah, yeah. I read everything.
What about the, so I saw you put the Train B in service or whatever?
Yes.
How's that going? Anything?
So far, it's really good. The staff went and they replaced the bearings and the belts, and they fired right up. So, and that's not big, because they're over 35 years old, this train. They're original since the plant was redone. So, now it's starting to, to populate in there and starting to catch up with the other two. So hopefully in another 2 weeks, maybe, we should be able to take the A train down for some maintenance. And
Great. Is that helping with the BOD? You guys are worried about?
Yeah,
the
we had
BOD?
that little spike of BOD, but we're not sure it was the plant, or we're gonna do a side-by-side analysis with labs to determine, mitigate possible labs. I mean, even last year, we had an issue with fecal hits, and we were not getting the hits. It was actually, DEP actually called numerous plants that our contracted lab was getting hits across all of them. So I'm not putting out, this plant's very resilient, and for the BOD to go up to 40, it makes no sense to me. So, and I'm not gonna go on the personnel, but, labs have a lot of difficulty keeping the staff in those operations, because they go in and out.
That BOD file is pretty variable, I would say,
Yeah.
if you do it, yeah.
So we're gonna do some side-by-side sampling right now to determine, but there was nothing that caused a plant upset for us.
Is it right? Any other stinks or anything else that flagged at the same time, or?
It's just,
Yeah.
Conshohocken's pretty stable flow. I just don't see our effluent going up to almost a 40. I mean, we didn't violate, but going up to 40 just doesn't make sense to me. And the biological meter didn't change much, other than the first unit of 1 was a tonnage, but that was just being the media's growing well. So,
we had a 38 the one day, and then 2 days later, we had a 6.
yeah. So
So,
And
you can get analytical error. It happens.
And you seeded the third one with the sludge from your other facility, is that right?
We seeded, I don't know, close to 6, 7, 8 loads came
Oh.
in to seed the plant to get it moving. It's worked.
Just in the one train?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And is the testing something that you guys do?
No, we contract that out, because the skill level to do all that on a continuous basis is better to
And
contract
the
out.
liability.
Yeah, it's just,
And the liability. You really want to have a third-party lab do it. That way there's no question and there's no lab on our things,
So that their equipment and, like, they have like a control?
yes.
And how frequently do they test?
We do twice a week.
That's the parameter, but- Yeah, and right, we don't have the lab capability, we don't have like the infrastructure to do that either. We don't have a lab, right?
We don't want to get
You can't
involved.
even do an unofficial one.
There
What's
used
that?
to, there
You
used
can't
to be
even
an
do it like
accredited
an
lab there.
unofficial one.
No, I wouldn't get involved. We do the normal, pH, chlorine, dissolved oxygen, but we're not going to get into CBOD and all those tests. It's just,
I
it's,
wouldn't pain to.
it's just like, I'll use the word liability, and then you have to have staffing that understands that technology, and then stay on top of all the regulations, because labs, there's tremendous amount of regulations on lab. If we were a 7-day operation, you'd have to have your own lab here, but we're only twice a week. It's
Even
not
my
real-
really big plants, they don't, nobody is an accredited lab anymore. Just from, it's, when I say a liability, but it's also a credibility. It's great to tell listen, our guys don't do it. We send it out, it comes back. They have no vested interest. They prove there are checks and balances.
And then they can kind of see where we are to other,
There's really no comparison. They're just going to provide us a
It's
number.
compliance to your permit. It's how well we do into our permit.
Question of how do they flag it here?
Right.
So he's saying that, yeah, you guys had a high, but it's
Like,
happened
did
before where
everybody?
other, yeah, he said it
Yeah.
happened with fecal before, I guess, that they were flagging high for fecal and all the people they were. So the DEP or whatever can look at the results from the lab.
That's the same, we didn't have it on normal. Fred and I had a good conversation the other day. We're a biological system that can, just like we can get an upset stomach, the plant can get an upset stomach. I don't believe we had an issue with the plant, but you don't know that. So we'll eliminate what we could possibly do a side by side, do some checking. But I tell you, I would be wrong or I'd be lying to you if we don't have a violation here and there.
And
It's just you're gonna have them.
To go on Brett and I's conversation, it's a mechanical and biological system. So if somebody tells me that they've never been sick, and somebody tells me that they bought a car 12 years ago and they've done nothing but put gas in it, I'm not gonna believe either of those statements. It's mechanical. Things break down. When things break down, it impacts process. It's biological. Temperature changes, we get a runny nose, so does biology. Now, you can minimize it by the law of averages, and you try to prevent it, but there's certain things happen, like how do you explain when you get a cold in August and it's 90 degrees? But it happens. It's a lot different than you're out without wearing a jacket in December. Well, then you get it, so.
I was just thinking, if that one train ends up being much better, would you consider bringing another sledge to supplement the other ones at all? or
We've
think
been
we're fine?
seeding on and off for the last 2, 3 years.
At least 2, yeah.
2-3 years, we've been seeding on and off. It does not hurt to bring in biological sludge, just, because we don't make our own organisms here. We need to bring them out, just no different than making a cake batter, So we've been doing it on a continuous basis. At least every 2 weeks, we do the digester, and every once in a while, we do the RBCs.
It's a lot harder than it is with a traditional activated sludge plant, where you can adjust your return on activated sludge, you can increase things. Here, it basically is a wheel that goes around, and the food feeds biology on that wheel. If it fluffs off, there's less variables that an operator can do. There's less tricks that we have that we can use.
Thank you.
okay. Can we have a motion to accept the operation manager's report?
I'll make the motion.
All second, all in favor?
Aye.
Parna?
Parna?
Good, thank you.
Next is the executive director's report.
Okay, I'm gonna defer union contract and the 2025 budget to next month.
This was, yeah. Agreed.
It's just, you understand, when Tina's not here, our partner's not in person, and George, so we'll just defer it. We still got 2 more months to get these instituted, so let's just wait till next month. We do have 2 items of executive session, and other than that, I gave the update, the plant's running well at this point, and I have no other comments at this point. I did have items, but we'll wait till next month.
So do we need to still accept? We have? Okay, so can I have a motion to accept the executive director's report?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. And I think that concludes what we have on our agenda. Do I have a motion to,
Yeah, so I don't know, Lauren, do you want to announce the executive session and then adjourn the meeting, or how do you want to do it?
So we'll summarize it after, but we can summarize it at the beginning of the next meeting.
Yeah, that's
We don't have to come back in.
We can adjourn and
We can adjourn, yep.
okay. So can I have a motion to close the meeting?
Make a motion?
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned.